right, welcome to Primos for Life, the wrestling podcast made for the fans, by the fans. Como siempre, yo soy Eddie, el niño vaque. We got Ariel, the Ecuadorian dream bisueta, and we are your self-proclaimed, undisputed co-host tag team champions of the world. And in tonight's episode, we're joined by one of CCW's most recognizable voices and the person who knows him better than anyone. We got Axel Rome and his lovely sister, Maria Fernanda. We'll get the scoop from ringside to the stands and everything in between. So, como siempre, sit back, grab a snack, and let's get it on! Hola, mi primo. Yeah, I feel extra like, salsa-y because I'm wearing my cha-cha shirt. So I'm like,
nice. Oh, feeling the flow, riding the bull, doing it. Nice. Good for you, man. Good. Yeah, man. Cha-cha's awesome. He's amazing. So I'm glad you repping the cha-cha shirt. Unfortunately, I don't have one, but still waiting on the Izzy bracelet. We'll see if that happens. But that was awesome. Shout out to Izzy. But yeah, man. How are you? Todo bien?
Todo bien, brother. Like, always excited to see my primo, always excited to connect. And I'm just going to jump right into this one because we're going to do something a little different, primo.
Ooh, different. Yeah. I mean, we do have kind of a set thing here. So different is good. Let's go. What you got? Let's go.
Yeah. Okay. So this is going to be like a hybrid episode, right? And the reason why I say it's a hybrid is because one is in the wrestling business and one is a fan. So it's almost like we're merging the two worlds together since we haven't done like a fan episode in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
So this is like a best of both worlds where it's like multiversing. We're like Marvel right now. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So to summarize, it's an interview with someone who is in the wrestling industry and someone who is related to, and as a result, the biggest fan of said promotion.
Right. Exactly.
Awesome.
And of the pros.
So. Wrestling in general. Yes. Yeah. I mean, if you're a fan of a particular promotion, then you're going to be a fan of all the bigger promotions and stuff like that because we're talking about an indie promotion here. So
yeah.
Yes. All right. Exactly. Well, then lead on, brother. I'm down. I hope everyone else is excited as I am because this is the first time we've done a kind of someone in the industry and a fan aspect at the same time because you and I are usually the fans.
Right. Exactly.
So but this is kind of a little different because now we get to like fan with a fan. And somebody else. Right. So go ahead, man. Sorry, go. Lead.
No, you're good, man. I gotta, I'm getting so excited. My glasses fogged up, so I gotta, clean those
in there. Steamy. Yeah.
No, but I'll get the AC. And then I want to bring them on real quick because I want to tell the story of how this whole thing came to be, and then we'll just jump right in, man. Like always, we'll just flow. You know how it is.
Bet.
All right. So tonight's guest, we're gonna have Señor Axel Rome and his lovely hermana Maria. Let's bring them in. And there they are. What's going on, guys?
Welcome in.
I can see how nervous Maria's face is. She's like,
shook.
We're live.
Very shook.
It's just the lighting.
So I was just telling Ariel like why this episode is like extra special because it's basically like a hybrid. We got somebody in the biz, right? We got Axel Rome, and we'll give you a few minutes to let the people know what you do and what you do is so important in the wrestling business, and then what Maria does because low key Maria is a fan, pero her job is like she got several jobs there. So based on what I was able
she's got a lot
to
of
pick
pulls.
up.
She's got a lot of pulls. Lot of pull.
Yeah, but all right, Primo. So check this out. So let me tell my side of the story.
Go ahead, shoot.
How this whole thing happened, and then let's see if they agree. Right. So basically, I go to my first CCW local promotion show. Shout out to CCW. They do a fantastic job every time. They have you wanting to go back to see more. So kudos to them. And, it was my first promotion, my first show with them. And then I invite some coworkers, right? Because you always got to bring the homies with you and any reason to like you go to a brewery, have some drinks and
have some fun at the expense of the talent. That's what local shows really
Sounds
appeal
fun.
to. That's how you sell it to the non-wrestling fans. Like, oh,
Sounds
I'll buy
fun.
you a couple beers and we'll heckle
And
some other people, right?
go.
So that's how I sold it to Uncle Tony and to my buddy Nick. Shout outs to both of them. And the show is about to start. We see, first of all, it's in a brewery. It's in the back. It is super hot. Everybody's drenched. And then the first person we see is my man Axel come out in a blazer, looking like a pro.
Hell yeah, the man's a professional.
He's the man's a pro.
Why would he not? Why would he not come out dressed to the nines, ready to do his job?
Exactly. But again, it's like 100 degrees in there. And me and the boys were just like, we're ready to heckle this dude because I'm like, why are you doing this to yourself, right?
Oh, you poor man, you're in the suit. Why?
So, but before we even got a chance to get anything out, right? At the moment we say, who is this man or this, like the things that we were saying, the lovely Maria Fernanda was sitting right behind me and my friends.
Get him, girl.
And she was just like, I was like, I forgot what I said, but she was like, no, he's not. And I was like, but she was loud, and I was like, "Yo, what is going on here?
That's
Why?"
right.
And I at first thought is like, "Is this your boyfriend? Is this and she was just like, "No, it's my brother." And I was just like, so she's the plant. He's the number one super fan there to control the crowd.
Just terrible verbiage, the plant.
I mean, hey, we just learned in WWE Unreal that there are plants out there.
Of course, no, we get it. We just stop. Just keep it moving. The story go.
All joking aside, that's how I remember it, guys. I mean, did I?
Well, then he came out and impressed you, obviously, because after you got yelled at, and then I'm sure Axel just started opening his mouth and doing what he had to do and selling everything. I mean, I'm sure right there it was like, okay, she's right. Shit, I feel even worse.
Exactly.
Okay, great. All right, good. I love this story. I love this story already. Thank you. Thank you, Axel and Maria. Gracias. Thank you so much for what you just gave me. I truly appreciate this
but you're right. It's true because the moment the night was over, I was like, there's a story here. There's something going on here. And we need to get to the bottom of this, know? So,
and here we are. Here
right?
we are.
So,
wonderful.
Did I say anything out of pocket? Was that pretty accurate or no?
First, I'd like to formally apologize to everyone who's ever sat in front of me, and anyone's whose footage I've ever ruined. I'm very passionate about Axl Rome, and I can't hide it.
Nor should you. Nor should
Y nadie
you.
se mete con mano menos que yo.
Dile.
There you go. All right.
Axel, how about yourself? Well, welcome on in. Thank you for joining us. Thank you so much, Axel. How are you? What's going on? Talk to me.
As far as that night, I can't tell you much that I can really remember. I do remember when that night started. You pay attention a little bit to the crowd as to maybe what side of the ring is more active, so you can appeal to them. Maybe what people need to be brightened up or get a little bit more enthusiasm in them, so you can hype them up in order for the next match for them to stay alive. But then I do notice, a little bit of the hecklers, a little bit of people that sit in the front row that say a little bit of something, a little bit to say this. My friend Eddie over here, I do remember, was one of the guys out there with his buddies. Again, there's so much going on. I'm trying to remember my notes in my head, listening to the music. So I vaguely hear what people are saying. So I just hear little comments here and there. I do remember my man was saying something, but at the end, I did notice that his attitude did change, and I didn't notice why or for whatever reason. But it started with me coming in and him saying something. I don't know what it was, but it was just something off the tune of something about my blazer that I was wearing that night. Because he's right. If you come
let's
out,
go jacket or something.
Yes, I was in full-on blazer suit jacket, and he's right. If you come out to one of our shows at this brewery, it tends to be hot, especially during these months. I toned it down a bit. I finally got a nice little polo, so now you see me in a nice little polo, a little bit more refreshed. I could breathe because part of the image that I'm trying to go for is not this sweaty guy that's just in the ring announcing these sweaty guys coming out to fight. Then people might get a little bit mistaken with me being one of the wrestlers.
Pits and in your chest.
Exactly. Exactly. I'm trying to keep it pretty in the ring as well.
Yes.
But then halfway through the night, I see my man's attitude change, and I just didn't know really why. And then it was towards the end of the night when I finally got to meet him, and he told me the story. Yeah, my sister was in the back. she's a great wrestling fan. I'm like, yeah, I'm so sorry about that. I didn't mean to really place you there, but that's normally where they always sit for the shows. And I have to end up telling people, yeah, that's my sister. She's a little too enthusiastic or too passionate. It's because she's a big fan of wrestling, but she turns out to be a big fan of Axl Rose as well.
Shocker, shocker. That she's a big fan of you. No, never, never, never. That's wonderful, man. That's fantastic. Well, thank you both. I want to take a moment to thank you both for taking time out of your busy schedules to join us this evening. We truly, truly appreciate it whenever we can get an interview done. And this is the first of its kind because we have someone who is in the industry and a fan, because usually Eddie and I are the fans. So this is
we're
kind
still
of,
fans.
it's not, I mean, we're adding on it. Just let me flow, man. Come on,
You're
man.
right.
I know.
Sorry.
But so usually we're the fans. So this is very nice. And I want to thank you both for taking the time out because we do appreciate it. We know you busy schedule, things you have to do. So thank you very, very much for joining us this evening. We truly, truly do appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for having us.
It's our pleasure.
No. All right, and speaking, just to add on the hybrid episode idea, we're also going to switch up our flow as well, right? Normally we do interview questions for a particular individual, but this time we have two special guests. So what we're going to end up doing is we're going to go down the questions, right? And some are going to be directed to both of you, and then we'll take turns. We'll give one to Axel, and we'll give one to Maria, and then rinse and repeat, and we'll just see where the conversation takes us. And then Ariel, my querido primo, is the one that will always kick us off with our staple question, because we have a staple question sandwich, right? We got one that we always ask at the top and one that we ask at the end. So.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, so questions to both of you. Of course, I will let Maria lead. Well, ladies first, of course. My mama raised me properly. So in terms of wrestling, our staple question is always, what is your first core memory of seeing wrestling, seeing someone you love watch it, seeing what was the first one that you can remember? Like Eddie has his story of Kane's first appearance, with The Undertaker. Mine was, I just remember watching Lucha Libre on my grandfather's lap, in his living room in the Bronx. So what is your first recollection that brought you into, wrestling and made you see it and you're like, oh, great. Like, this is something I can kind of deal with. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So we were privileged enough to go to tapings. So as far as I was concerned, I got a dinner and a show. And so I was a child, and everyone cheered, everyone was loud. So that's the memory I had of everyone was always yelling and screaming. And this taping was a SmackDown. And it was when The Undertaker tombstone pile drove Vicky Guerrero when she had her neck brace on. She was in a wheelchair. I was like, they wouldn't do that to her, and they did it to her.
And they did.
Yes, they did. Yes,
and that's when I
did.
remember thinking, I need to know what comes next. Is she okay? So I kept watching after that. So that was one of my earliest memories.
Wonderful.
That's good. I like that one.
I mean, but see, that's the thing, is you just remember that moment. You remember the neck brace. Like, it stays with you for that time. That's amazing.
Great era.
Axel?
I think the pivotal moment was what really hooked me to wrestling was when we first moved to the US back in August of 2001. And even by that December of that same year, I already had wrestling toys waiting for me underneath the Christmas tree, a wrestling ring toy set. So I was hooked on immediately when my dad first turned on a channel of SmackDown. And from all the wrestlers that I had seen, it was really the specific segment between Team Extreme at that time and TNA, Trish, Test, and Albert. And they just did their tag team match, but it was the moment after the tag team match when I saw Lita and Trish for the first time have their interaction. And you see the Hardys doing their swanton bombs, doing their crazy moveset, and that was cool and all. But what captivated me was when Lita then did it. When Lita did the moonsault, when Lita went to the top rope and dropped the leg drop on Trish Stratus. And I always say that I was more of a fan first of women's wrestling, and then the guys came second. But it was really just that pivotal moment of watching Lita and Trish in the ring, and since then I was in love with wrestling. from dragging my sister and my dad to any of the Tampa shows that were coming to our area, whether it was Raw, SmackDown, even FCW. When we discovered FCW, the developmental
Yeah.
territory of WWE at that time, when we saw Sheamus, my sister and I were even able to see Tiffany, Alicia Fox, a lot of these WWE superstars that would then come down to Tampa, and we'd be like, "Holy crap! What are you doing here? You were just literally on Raw." We didn't really understand it at that time, that they were doing this part of their work schedule, and then to see some of the future talent that came from SCW that we could say, bro, I literally saw him in Tampa when hardly anyone knew him, and now look at him, a big star in WWE. So those are the moments to me. It's really, I guess, Lita and Trish that hooked me on to wrestling as general, and even growing up. What me and my
Wow.
sister would tune into faithfully every Raw, every SmackDown, every ECW would be, okay, the men's wrestling is cool, but when are the divas coming up? When's the divas match coming up? When's the divas segment coming up? So for me, I was always just a diva stan, a diva fan. I still am a huge advocate for women's wrestling. But that was really my core memory, and what really led me to just be so passionate about this wrestling industry was women's wrestling. And then, everything else came folding down. I realized there was more than just WWE. I discovered TNA and their TNA knockouts, and then I discovered NWA. Then I was unfortunately, I'd say a little bit late in my years, discovered indie wrestling, but then that's
Yeah.
really what transpired in my little journey with being a fan. At the end of the day, even though, like Eddie said, I do work now on the other side. At the end of the day, I still think that all of us in the locker room are just fans that get to live out this crazy little dream of ours at this cool level.
Tu
Oh,
sueñito.
Yeah.
That's
no.
awesome. That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So in that same frame of thought, this question is going to be directed to Axel. So then how did you break into the wrestling business, and like how did you get into the wrestling world, and was it always aiming towards becoming an announcer, or did you want to do media, or did you want to learn it all? Walk us through that.
Up, growing up, believe it or not, I actually wanted to be a pro wrestler, and I told everyone like I'm going to be a pro wrestler. I was going to be a pro wrestler, this and that. I'm a small guy. There's no hiding it. When I go out there, you can see I'm not the size of these guys. So you'd have the people tell me you're not going to do it. You're too small, this and that. And I let some of those insecurities maybe get to me. So I decided to go the route of, if I can't maybe go now to wrestling, I could at least go and get my degree. So I knew that I wanted to get into some way, shape, or form into the broadcasting realm. I first started wanting to be in radio, but then I just didn't want to be that voice. I wanted to also be that voice and that face. So I found broadcast journalism. I studied to be a news reporter, went to school for that, graduated, and ended up working for about 3 years after I graduated from college as a news reporter down the Sarasota and Bradenton area. So that's
Nice.
where I was able to maybe take a little bit of advantage, because when I turned 18, there was a school in Tampa that I did look up, and I found out how much does it cost to be a pro wrestler, and it said about $1,000. I'm like, okay, that's doable. I can go to school, maybe get a little job, and find out if I can, do this. Unfortunately, at that time, that school moved away, and they shut
Oh,
down, right? And then FCW became NXT. So that local talent in Tampa kind of left, and I maybe didn't do my homework well enough, because I'm sure at the time there was more wrestling opportunities, more wrestling schools. But I went the what I'd say the safe route. Went, got my degree, did journalism for a couple years, and it was just through a wild chance on Facebook that I was scrolling, and I found this Instagram or Facebook post from Coastal Championship Wrestling asking that they were about to start a new program at their school, looking for new
uh-huh.
wrestlers, managers, referees, et cetera, et cetera. And what caught my attention was at the end, they said commentators, they said ring announcers. So I always thought that, well, ring announcing would be cool. I think I have a good voice for it. I should try it out. I don't know about commentary. I'm a little iffy about it. I'm not really good at ad libbing like those guys are, or how to do the whole play by play and all that stuff with commentary. But I even threw out the option when I messaged them, hey, this is what I did. I could bring this to the table, but I could also maybe bring some backstage interviewing, which I saw on their social
Oh,
media pages that they didn't really have a set backstage guy that would, interview the guys, post matches, get some promo work
mhm.
for them. So I messaged them. They messaged me back. Nelio did, the owner of the company, told me, hey, come out to one of our shows. It turned out to be in Pompano to give me a little tryout and see how it would go. Um, and little did I know that that tryout was really going to be the start of now what's going to be a 2-year journey next month, that I've been
Yeah.
able to do the backstage interviewing for CCW, which mainly does go on their social media platforms, but it does allow me to have that opportunity to take what I learned to have as a news reporter and that on-camera role that I developed from the 3 years that I did breaking news reporting to now doing something that I've always wanted to do. It may not be in the same capacity that I wanted to do it in the ring, but I maybe am doing it now, getting to talk to these guys and girls backstage,
But you're
doing their
there.
promos,
You're
helping them. Yeah,
there. That's what
exactly.
matters. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're
And
there.
as I tell
That's
them, half of the story is, yeah, told in the ring, but you want to tell a little bit more of that story with your backstage promos. You want to continue what's going to come next with getting your reactions, getting your immediate thoughts after the match, after whatever shenanigans happen in your match. You want to really maybe catch up with the wrestler and see what they're thinking. So that's where I'd like to play the pivotal role in the shows. I may not always be front and center, but I think backstage doing these promos with them does help at least their
right.
character develop a little bit more as to where they're going, what the storyline with their character is going, and give them that opportunity that wasn't presented to them before when they didn't have someone that was as established doing it on a at that time when I first started my first year. I was going on a weekend basis to all of their shows because that's the cool part about CCW. They do shows every single weekend across Florida
Yeah, they do.
and even expanded over to
Wow.
Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I mean,
What a
but
pro.
that's awesome because you being in the back with them, like you said, gives them a chance to get used to you and you become a part of the storyline and they feel more comfortable with you. It's a developmental thing, I think, also that grows with you and the talent at that particular moment in time. So I think that's fantastic. Like to be able to do that, especially for a fan, being able to come in and just capture that moment and be able to do that is absolutely amazing. Like that's a story that everybody would love to be able to have. Like
Yeah.
that's fantastic. Like just great. So Maria, so the question for you, being that you are Axel's sister and you are the super fan, as Eddie has explained, is the itch. Did you ever want to scratch the wrestling itch? Was it something that interested you, or were you good just having your brother there and saying, you know what, I'm good in the stands here and I'm happy to watch and just enjoy what is being presented? Like, so is that something that ever crossed your mind? And was it a yes or no definite, or kind of what happened?
Well, I think growing up watching the Divas, I loved watching what they did. They did everything in that era. So they fought, they did other types of matches at that time. So I just like really admired them. But then it wasn't until I saw my brother that I just love being in that ambiance again. And so I did consider it that if I ever was a wrestler, I'd be La Vaca and I'd
Ooh.
come out to La Vaca by my. And I
Aye.
think it's just because I love entrances and I think I could rouse up a crowd. There's
I
4
mean, who doesn't want a good entrance in their life at some
Right.
moment? Like, I
exactly.
mean, come
The
on.
longest entrance, the longest song ever. Buy some time, get a drink. Song is still playing, and really channel that La Mesa que más sopla, that energy. Like to the back. But I have to say, I don't really ever let Axel Rome present me, and so if I ever did that, that'd be maybe the plan. But I
Yeah.
also just love being a fan, and I love to just support each side.
Yeah,
So if you've ever
just be out there and support your brother and to be able to support all the talent that's in there. That's
I
amazing.
never choose a side. I'm always cheering for everyone and booing everyone except for Axel Rome.
No, that's not
he
true.
never gets booed. Never. I mean,
No,
come on,
no,
come
no.
on.
You always support your brother, yes, but you're out there screaming, heel or face. I mean, in Spanish, I hear you. Bro, I hear you. I hear you. So no, you do pick sides.
Aye.
No, but I know we know what you mean. You enjoy the show and you support everyone because you know the ins and outs of the business. So I mean
Totally.
that's a
Well, I
beautiful
think
thing.
that goes a long way with because Eddie and I always say what we want to do is we want to educate our listeners into the industry and kind of what it is, because it's not just what most people think, and it's fake or it's scripted or it's whatever. It's like, yes, but these people do take the bumps. There's a storyline, there's a process, something goes into it. You have to respect it for what it is. And I always like you tell people like, oh, I don't know how you watch it. I'm like, well, what do you watch? Like, oh, Real Housewives. I'm like, come on, now you're just stop. Like, you're making my job too easy to defend wrestling right now. Like, so some stories like this is why we do this, so that people can hear things like this and see like the intricacies and the people in the background and how real it is, on a day-to-day basis for the wrestlers who are involved in this, who they just see as people who just are actors and just take these bumps and do whatever and walk out with their paycheck. And it's bigger than that. So I think stories like this is fantastic for what we're trying to do. And thank you for that. That's great. Like,
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, for sure. Now, okay, guys. So this question is for both of y'all. And I mean, obviously you guys could take turns on how you guys want to answer this. I feel like I kind of know the answer though because of recent events that have happened. That may be the answer, but maybe not. So we'll just put it out there. But what has been the most memorable CCW event that you've experienced together so far? Right, from a storyline standpoint, from a fandom standpoint, whichever, anything comes to mind.
May I?
Please.
Thank you. I don't know, Primos. Is it when my brother's body was used as a missile by Eddie Torres to knock out Danny Briggs? I ain't forget ain't Dr. Eric Christopher and Tyson Malrick by association. So
Oh wow.
I
Just names all over the place. Yes, do
I'm
it,
waiting
girl.
for
Do it.
justice
Do
for
it.
Axel. It can be anybody at any point. I don't care, but we
You
did
heard it, people. You heard it. She's waiting for justice. Who's gonna step up to the plate?
that one hurt me.
Oh,
Yeah,
of course.
it looked like it hurt too.
Yeah, damn girl. Yeah, sure. But you're right. I mean, I'm surprised you ain't hopped the railing and just start being
They
like,
wouldn't let me.
Oh,
because they saw you. They were like, before this happens, somebody get Maria. I need eyes on her. Antes que lo que pasa, pero antes que algo pasa, we need eyes. Like that's
exactly.
I was too shocked that I could only scream.
Oh,
He prep you. Actually, you ain't prepper.
Listen, as you said, now that I crossed from this world from being a fan to now this kind of on-screen talent, there's times that I invite my family, and there's that little boundary where I'm telling them little subtle hints like, hey, this match is gonna be really cool. You should pay attention to it. Just saying, just saying. But just to go back and always hear that particular audio of just her screams, her wails, I'm just like, God dang it! It's like someone would have murdered me in that ring. It wasn't just, it wasn't. I wouldn't say that it was the softest landing, but I've had better landings. Let's say, I've had better days.
Obviously.
Wow.
Well, all right. So, in this same vein, because obviously now Axel, you're involved in the background stuff, so I'm not sure in terms of storylines and things like that. But have you guys ever disagreed on a storyline on a wrestler? Has there been that battle of home where like, I don't think this is, or Maria, are you just like, no, I'm down for everybody and I know the stories, I know what works. Like this is how we keep everything rolling. Is it simpatico, or is it are there moments where you're kind of like, and how have those moments gone if they've been there?
I wouldn't say we've ever disagreed on any storyline except maybe when it was a long time ago when they did the Piggy James storyline, and I was like, why did we have to go there? And they really dragged that on, and he did try to explain to me that they're selling the mean girl, but yeah, probably that one.
Axel?
When it comes to it, I really like to I really let the magic happen and really let the story speak for itself. If we happen to have some disagreement, I go toe to toe and ask her, well, why do you think that this person should have gone over the match? And then I just tell her, okay, but just think about it logically. If we have this person consistently show up to the show and the defender championship, I feel like maybe that title may lose its value. But if they come every so often, you may not know if are they going to come out to the show, are they going to defend their title, and when they actually come out, I feel like now their title championship match is going to mean a lot more rather than them coming here every week giving anyone a title opportunity. So these are little disagreements, but at the end of the day, what I tell her is like, I don't know what they did that. Your guess is as good as mine. I literally just asked the questions. Let's talk about it though. Yeah, I just work here. I just work here. Like, I didn't like that they messed up my boy Alan Estes Martinez either. But you know what? I just gotta ask him, how are you feeling?
It happens.
Good, I bet.
Right.
Yeah.
So bringing your work home is fun because you guys get to have that moment of kind of like, well, I mean, it's got to be great because it's why Eddie and I do the show. It's not only a moment for us talk wrestling, but we're family. So it's just great to have that moment with that. So that's got to be amazing to be able to do that and be like, okay, hang on, this is going to happen.
I get a million questions from her after every Tampa show. I give her the most vaguest answers at times. You have to tell her, well, you're going to have to stay tuned and find out what's going to happen next month. I don't know what's going to happen. You tell me. Your guess is as good as mine. You're going to have to just stay tuned and come back next month.
Nice. Okay, Axel. So then do you normally approach your backstage interviews differently depending on the wrestler? Like, do you, based on their personality or based on a storyline, do you get into character where you're like, oh man, this guy just put cha-cha through a car window last week. Let me be cautious. Or,
Right.
oh, they just won their championship. Let me be happy for them. Like anything like that?
To think that I still play this journalist role, even though I was a real journalist, but in a more, I guess, rather than playing it unbiased, maybe actually calling them out in the way that I phrase their questions. But yeah, I do change in the way that certain aspects of the personality or where the story is going. First, I always like to watch their matches to find out what happens and to ask around with the booker to find out where's this story particularly going with them so I could formulate a nice question that then they can be led to answer what you would like for them to say in a very coherent way that will lead the story to go where it needs to next. It also helps the talent at times. As you mentioned, we're really both working or learning as we're working these shows. This is my first transition from going very reporter like, very by the facts, to now trying to think in a way that my questions aren't necessarily taking the spotlight, but helping them lead to where they need to be so that they could be the superstars that they need to be for that interview. Um,
Mm, good.
but I do change it up because I've gotten to know a lot of the guys and girls at CCW. For instance, every time I do an interview with Five Star Era, Ricky Martinez, or ERA, I know they're a little bit more playful. They like to have a little bit more fun segments, so I can be a little bit more of the relaxed journalist, coming at them, be a little bit more playful in the way that I approach them. Then there's other guys like maybe Jackal Stevens. I know he's a little bit more serious, so I wouldn't necessarily go with my peppy go lucky attitude with him, right? I'd approach him with a little bit more caution. Of
Hey.
course, when now I have to talk to Eddie Torres and Dr. Eric Christopher, I'm not necessarily going to be um, with going there with a lot of
Like,
enthusiastic energy as
right.
what they just did to me a couple months ago. But it just really also depends. Whenever I also go and work other promotions, like for example, Pro Wrestling Action in the center part of
Mm,
Florida, they're more character-driven characters for their show. So there, I try to play more of I wouldn't necessarily say a journalist, but more of that guy that's always trying to get the answer. That pesky guy, maybe the pesky
right.
journalist that's always nagging you, like
Yeah,
bothering you
yeah,
wherever, like as you
yeah.
just come out of the bathroom,
No,
like by cameras right there. It's like, I'm so sorry to bother you, but I just need a quick second of your time, if you
yeah,
could
no, because I
please.
want the truth.
Things like
I
that.
want the
Yeah,
truth. I want
exactly.
answers.
Exactly.
Give
I
me
just want the
answers.
truth. The fans want the truth. We all want the truth. We want to know what's on your mind, and
Exactly.
I'm here to be that middleman. So maybe there at Pro
Right.
Wrestling Action, I get to be a little bit more of that character. With Shine as well in WWN, I do take it a little bit more formal because of that whole aspect that they are able to broadcast their show on their YouTube, or I think on their WWN network, and it gets to be incorporated on
Mm,
the show post edit. So there, I try to be a little bit more of the serious, but depending also on the girls that I get to work there, have a little bit more fun in the way that I approach them. Now that I get to work with a lot of these people throughout these several promotions, I think I get to understand a little bit more of their character and how I could actually have a little bit um,
right.
personality that I can put in more than just that being that hard news reporter guy that's just going to get the answers, the facts. But by going to any means necessary for me to try to get the answers. I even remember one time I walked in on Chacha taking a shower after one of our Bats of the Brew shows because I just needed an answer from him. He's one of my hardest guys to get an interview from. Always at the end of the show, I'm always chasing him around, and I was
Mm.
desperate. I needed to get my interview.
Hey, listen, you need answers. He needs to get clean. You met in the middle. No,
We
I
met
mean
in the middle.
that's not a.
We met in the
You met in
middle.
the middle. That's not necessarily a problem. There's nothing wrong with that. So Maria, like so, listening to Axel's answer here and hearing everything that he goes through with having to prep with who he's dealing with depending on who he's interviewing and things along these lines, what's it like for you to see him go through his mental process of setting up, because this is your hermano, this is you know him better than anyone else on so many different levels. So to see him, because once again with Eddie, I remember changing this fool's diaper, and now we're doing a show that he leads, and I'm just like,
Don't
oh,
laugh.
we've
Don't
come a
laugh. That's
long
not
way.
funny.
Yes, laugh. I had to get that in because it bothers him every time I say it. So what's it like to have to see your brother, who you know better than anyone else, who was the kid that you played with and wrestled with and threw around, and he threw you around, and you told on him and all this, to watch him in his business aspect go through what he has to do mentally to prepare for these things?
Yeah, first I'm like, "Ugh, I hope he's not anxious." And then he just steps into his power. He's very good at what he does. So I used to just follow him around and see him do the interviews, but then I would just go about my own way. But I didn't want to be a liability for him, so I like to give him his own space to work on that. But I love seeing him in power mode, and he just knows exactly what he's doing in that moment. It's a light switch, and it's just so natural. And so I'm very proud of him all of the times.
So it's almost like you go from nerves to awe.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, I hope he does it, I hope he nails it. And then he does, you're just like,
I'm like watching his lips
my man,
where he hits every line.
Nice. That's fantastic. It's
kind of precious.
But that's support. It's you're nervous because you want them to succeed, and then when they get up there and they just kill it, you're like, that's them. Why did they even question it? You know, so that's awesome.
Support, I will say, because there are times during those shows that she says that I'm in work mode. I call it go 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 mode, because as soon as they already start to get there, by the time that they arrive, I've already arrived maybe 4 hours prior, helping do the setup, doing the sound check, making sure everything is nice and set up for when the fans start getting in. All they have to do is get the wristband in, enjoy the show. In the meantime, we have wrestlers coming in. I'm trying to get all of their information for ring announcing. It is one of the shows that they actually allow me to get inside the ring and do my thing and own the show. And trying to get all the details and all these guys with different monikers, their weights, where they're from, and they want to have maybe these extravagant entrances. And I like to be the guy that that works off memory rather than having note cards. If I need a little note, maybe I'll have something with me. But it's during those times that I'm go 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 go, and we're about to start the show, maybe the pre-show or the actual show, and I'm still having that adrenaline going, and I'm just not focusing on my breathing. I'm not even breathing at all when I just get into the ring. I may be stuttering over my words, and luckily, half the people that get there nice and early are my family. So I get to look at her. I get to look at my family when I know that maybe I messed up, maybe my voice cracked in the middle of whatever I just said. My sister can tell. She can tell that I'm nervous immediately. She just gives me a little look. She tells me, breathe, and a little sign to take a deep breath. And I'm over here in the corner trying to compose myself, breathing as the guys are coming out during their entrance, making it seem like I'm not absolutely nervous, losing my mind, trying to remember who's coming out next and their information, and also breathing. That's the most important thing she's trying to remind me of. Is just breathe, bro. Just relax. You're gonna do fine. You know what you're gonna do. Just breathe.
I will say I have a hard time balancing being a super fan for Axl Rome, and then sometimes I try to take good pictures of him, but you can't scream and take a steady photo. And so it's tough. Tough balance, and one day maybe I'll master it. But shout out to Barbara, the camera woman. She covers all the CCW shows. Also, sorry for all the footage that I might have ruined. She sits right next to me. Love her. But
are you kidding me? She's probably your biggest fan. She's like, oh, she makes this so much more interesting.
So accepting of me. That's all you can. That's what I love about the wrestling community, is that they're all accepting of each other, and I just love watching how much people love wrestling, and it's just a room of people who love it and believe in it and want to push it forward, and that's why I go. So
beautiful. That's wow. Awesome. Okay. All right. So this is where we get a little funky, right? Because we're going towards the final rounds of questions and maybe some curveball questions here, right? Ooh. But let's jump in. This one's for both of you guys, right? Now, if you could attend any wrestling event in history together, which one would it be and why? Like, as a fan, obviously you guys go to, the WWEs, the FCWs, obviously now the CCWs. But if you could pick any show in wrestling history, which one would you want to go to? Why? For what match? Etc.
Axel, you can go first.
Yeah.
I wouldn't necessarily know what particular match I'd love to see, but I think I would now love to go with my sister and, of course, my father, the three of us that have made it this little tradition, to go to a Triple Mania show in Mexico. I was actually very fortunate a very long time ago to go to a Lucha Libre show with my cousins. And when I went there, it was so enthralling. It was so refreshing to see this different style of wrestling that I've known and been a fan of my whole life, but to see it in my home country, to see it for the first time, their unique entrances, how involved they are with the crowd, how the crowd is involved with their shows, how ruthless the crowd is over there with their chants, which is what I think I inspired. I gave a little bit of this knowledge to my sister, and I think she took it a little bit to that next level and brought that over here. But now to see the growth that AAA has been having in Mexico, of course, maybe even the the shows over in Japan for New Japan Pro Wrestling, but I think Triple Mania would be a show that I would love to experience with my sister and my father.
Yeah,
Dope.
it's
Wonderful.
poetic. I like
Maria?
it.
I would second that, but I would go back in time and take Axel and I to the Eddie Guerrero Rey Mysterio ladder match for Dominic's custody. If I could see the
Nice.
social worker and Dominic's face live on that big screen, I would just be like, Axel, they can't do this to him, please.
Oh my
That ladder
God.
can't determine this, please. And
Oh,
so
that'd be
I would go back and
awesome.
do that.
Little frosted tips Dominic, and you'd be in his face like, no, baby, no, this can't happen, baby, no.
Wow, those are awesome choices.
That's
That's great.
fantastic.
Those are
That's
great.
fantastic. So Axel, I mean, ultimately, I mean, the easy question is, career goals, WWE, AEW, things like that, obviously. But a dream match for you to call, the PLE, the type of match, the people in that match, and then curveball for the end of it. What I would like to do, if you have a moment, I would like to introduce Maria as a superstar and have her, in her own match. Please and thank you. I'm sorry, I know I threw a lot at you, but I wanted to get that curveball in before we started to get a little low on time. So I was like, let me get
Axel,
that one
you
in.
know exactly what to do.
Perfect. I love that this has been worked out. Okay, so let's start with your dream. Like I said, call, give me the entrance, please and thank you.
Let's see. I think it would just have to be what? Of course, let's say in a dream scenario, of course at WrestleMania, let's say. WrestleMania
Okay,
announcer
naturally.
right there. Why not? Why not? Let's go with it. And really any match that's involving Lita and Trish, whether one last match, the Lita and Trish one last match before
Nice.
they both retire. There you
Nice.
go. The WrestleMania
Very
Lita and
nice.
Trish one last match. It was
Very
a
nice.
match. It was a segment that got me hooked to pro wrestling. So why not? Work my way up
That's
the
a
ladder to
great answer.
WWE. Get to announce at WrestleMania, the biggest, grandest stage of them all, Lita and Trish's final match before they both
That's a
decide to hang
great
up the
call.
boots. Or so they say, because,
That's an
never
absolute
say never
wow.
wrestling.
That's a great call. That's an absolutely great call. All right, so if you wouldn't mind, if you would introduce little lovely Miss Maria as a superstar to the ring.
Yeah, remember this match is scheduled for one fall.
Mhm. No time limit.
Let me
No time limit.
let me take a little sip of water. I
Take a sip
haven't
of water.
practiced,
Take
you
a sip
guys.
of water.
I haven't been
Not a
working in a
problem.
while,
We're taking a break. So Maria, Maria, you're saying he should know what to do here, right?
You should know exactly. I've practiced La Vaca many times.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Okay. So you have everything kind of worked out.
Yes.
Okay, great. Well,
I'm gonna
then,
ask
ladies
for
and
a
gentlemen,
refresher. I'm just gonna ask for a little refresher. If
Mhm.
you don't mind, just a quick little text,
Please,
just so that I can have my notes. As a diligent ring announcer, I like to have my notes. I wasn't prepared.
That's perfectly fine. The one thing I can do is talk and kill time. So as long as
you got it, my friend.
when you tell me when you're ready.
This is it. I think we're gonna get it right here momentarily. So we're gonna start with the following contest being scheduled for one fall. 111 pounds from Nezahualcóyotl, Mexico. Mafe La Vaca.
Yeah, Vaca, yeah.
So be throwing plush toys of cows to the children.
Oh,
I
see
would
that.
have a cowbell.
Love it.
Be dressed in hide, not real hide, but you guys get the gist.
Yeah.
Wait. Okay, all right, so time out.
Understood.
Rewind. Why La Vaca? Just out of curiosity.
I just love that song.
Well, see, then there you go. Sometimes something just takes you over, man. You know that moment. You know it.
I feel like what can you come in, that's your entrance, that's the first impression the crowd has of you. They may have had a very emotional time the last match, or you're going towards the main event and you just need a breather, just a little dance session. And definitely going to the CCW shows in Miami showed me that there's a whole world of Spanish fans out there who can't understand me. Yep. And it creates the best community for wrestling.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I love it. Okay.
I try to bring that to Tampa.
Yeah, for sure. You do a good job. Believe me. That's why we're.
If anyone knows, it's Eddie. He's felt the wrath, so he's like, I know how this feels.
Yeah, for sure. It's fantastic though. It's definitely worth the experience. It's part of the experience. You know what I mean? But
absolutely.
Okay, so now we're gonna have another fun one here, right? if you guys had to cut a promo on each other, what would you say? Like, give me like a 5 to 10 second promo. Like, if you guys were about to go in a ladder match or whatever, and the title's on the line, it's WrestleMania, it's Triple Mania, it's all in wherever you want to have this match. Cut a promo on each other right now.
I mean, I think it might be Lucha Underground, like when Chelsea Green took Penta, you know, like this, you know, when you have those matches that you know, I'm just saying. So, you know, I'm going to keep chatting for a few seconds, give you all a little time to kind of prep what you need to say. So I'm just going to look at Eddie, and I want to tell everybody to once again, CCW, you know, in a few moments, we're going to give both Maria and Axel time to give you the Instagram, any place that you want to connect with them, because they're absolutely fantastic, great fans, great workers. I mean, we couldn't be more humbled and honored that you guys are joining us once again this evening. Yeah. So I think with that, hopefully we have a little bit of time. I'm not sure. I think we might be doing some notes. I don't know what's happening here.
Yeah, they're going in.
But yeah, but it's about to go down. Well, then let's
when
start.
You were 5 years old and you pissed the bed.
Oh, God. Oh, you wait. She's going to be like, when you ate, I think, cuando comiste. Uh-oh, here we go.
I sparked something.
Yeah. She's going to be like, oh.
Yeah. I've had this thought in my head for some time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, someone's gonna be mad. Don't be telling secrets like that, though. You don't need family members coming at you going, you know, with the belt or nothing. I don't know what that's just like. Or la chancla, algo, you know, tranquila.
Yeah.
Ten cuidado. You know, we want you to be, we want your family to still be able to look you in the face. No, I was kidding.
I'm starting off.
All right. I mean, I'll let you guys pick how you want to work it out. Maria.
So in my perfect world, Axel Rome has the scoop, but he's originally from Michoacan, and Michoacan has a bunch of ice cream, and so he comes out with one of those popsicle carts, right? And he's going to interview his wrestler by asking them their favorite ice cream, but then we also, you know, we get the scoop about what it is that happened in that match, and everyone's happy in a way because there's ice cream involved. Right. And so then I attack him because I'm just angry. I don't even know. I'm sure he did something to me.
Right.
And so I attack him, and then we have a title match. It's a food fight title match because they used to do that in the Divas era. They would just throw in pudding matches.
Oh, my
pudding
God,
matches.
Yes.
Well,
I remember. Yes,
yeah. So, big food fight title match. Get everything in there. Get the crowd.
So how would you call him out if you're in the back? Like what would you say to call him out for this match? Like what would you say? Like
set up the match. Yeah.
Like I got a scoop for you, not just of ice cream. You know, like how would you do it? Like
at first thought, if you guys have ever seen the meme of that Spanish woman that goes, "A lo que vine fue a esto." No context. No context at all.
That's it. Great.
You don't need to know.
That's all you needed to say. That's it. All right. So Axel, I mean, this is pretty strong. When she's got you with the ice cream cart, she's literally got you scooping. I mean, what? So how are we coming back?
Yeah. How are you coming back from this?
Listen, La Vaca. You have always think that you've been superior to me because ever since I stole the spotlight from you at our High School Musical dance-off that we had all those years ago, where you know that I was meant to play the lead role and you were supposed to play the less superior role. You were supposed to be my Troy to my Vanessa Hudgens. So we're going to settle this once and for all. We're going to prove who the best sibling is in the first ever brother and sister ladder match at Triple Mania. Never before has a brother and a sister shared this ring in combat. And tú and me, we're going to do that. En enfrente de nuestros padres.
Damn. That's all right.
Wow. De lo que verdaderamente pienso de ti.
Just drop, dude. Just drop. That was wonderful. Oh my God. Goosebumps.
I would let my ice cream fall during that segment.
Goosebumps. Yeah. The ice cream just slowly comes off the cone.
Melts.
Wow. Okay, wait.
That was good.
That was really good.
That was fantastic. That was fantastic.
I think he had that one in him.
Yeah, that was pent up.
And he's talking about the time that we rehearsed Stick to the Status Quo in High School Musical when we were children, and we rehearsed it. And then when the time came to perform for our parents, he took my spot in the solo. Caused a big family fight.
See, I told you.
All four of us. We just talked.
Really did. We involved the parents. We asked our parents to like choose a side, and it was the first time that they were like, we're split in the middle.
Don't do that, man.
It got intense. It got intense in the household that day.
As a parent, I can tell you, we're going to lie to y'all. We're going to lie to y'all as much as we can to not let you know there's a divide there, even if there is a favorite. No, I'm kidding.
Okay, but wait a minute. but we're not going to skip over this part because, you know, Axel, you're a professional. Maria, you're a lifelong fan. You understand the business. At the end of the day, there has to be a winner. So for the greater good of the storyline, who would win this match? That's one. And two, this is a bonus question. That way you guys could have this in the back of your mind so we could bring this home for you guys. But if you guys had to switch roles for the day and Maria's the announcer and Axel is the number one crazy fan in the stands, who would do a better job? Is the way that it is now, or if it got flipped reverse?
So who's a crazier fan and who's a better announcer, essentially?
Essentially, right. But then who would win? But we need the other answer. Who would win this match?
Who would win the match first, of course.
Axel would beat my He's done it before. Respectfully.
There you go. That's honesty.
For storyline purposes, I would win to keep the feud going. Because then I would make it about the dairy product that he's selling. Maybe he's copywriting me.
Oh my God. That's right. See?
You're
man.
the source.
This is I'll say this is a family industry. How dare you sell our family's ice cream without my permission? Soy la vaca. There would be no ice cream sin la vaca.
Milk from that teat. No, sir. No.
Wow. Long-term storytelling. Look at that.
I mean, you need
it.
That's the whole point.
It's all about the
keep people engaged.
Long-term storytelling. Yeah, I would agree with her. I would say, I would put her over. I would put her over for the sake of, continuing the story. Yeah, you got the one up on me on this, but you know what? We're gonna throw it over here and say that she didn't get the one up on me very cleanly. Of course, she needed to have maybe help from someone. Who could it be? Maybe her ice cream delivery truck boyfriend that was my best friend colleague that turned on me now at this one moment, right? My best friend turns on me, throws me off the ladder, and sides with La Vaca. I'm in shock. I'm in disbelief. I'm bruised. I'm hurting.
Maria?
There we go.
This
That's
feels like
how
a
we continue the
novela.
story.
I'm like,
right? It will be a novela. We have to make this a novela. And you know what? Whether I'll be the hero, which I think it would feel better if I were the bad guy, trying to make my sister's life miserable, and she's just trying to live her love life with my best friend who maybe wrote for me or whatever.
Right, with the ice cream boyfriend. Yes.
Wow, I love it. Wow, I can't wait to watch.
Me
I want to see this happen.
I would happily tune in. It's better than some of the stuff that's on there now. So I'd watch
for real.
I'd be in like, ooh, tengo que ver.
Damn, man. Okay. All right. And then the final question, so we can bring this home for you guys. If you guys had to switch roles, who would do a better job?
Axel Rome, hands down, will be the best announcer between the two of us.
And who's the better fan?
I think that's. I'd like to think that we're both toe-in-toe best fans. I mean, if you go and see both of us at a show where I could go back and finally be a fan, I think I'd like to give her a run for her money. I think me and her together, though, we're a great pair. I think we're like, you two are a great pair whenever you go out to a wrestling show. Getting to have that banter with someone that you can go back and forth. We have people around us constantly laughing, constantly like, yes, exactly. So when her and I just get going, she says her thing, and then I back it up. And then, of course, having her by me, I could always, have that support. If I want to start a chant, keep going. Don't let me down. I'm all by myself here. Please, I'm struggling.
That's true. We are actually a great duo. I take that back.
All right, so it's like the mega powers uniting. So the best is the combo of you. That's that.
I taught her how to be a good wrestling fan. I taught her everything that I knew, and especially now, reminding her like, hey, please don't let the crowd die. I wouldn't say that she's a plant at the CCW shows, but maybe I am messaging her here and there, telling her, maybe start this chant. Maybe hype the crowd up. Don't let the audience get lost in what's going on. I like to think she is a great fan. She's a great asset. Every time she's that perfect person that if someone is starting something, she backs it up. She's constantly also being very responsive, as I like to say, to these guys and girls putting on their matches. Because in the indie world, we do it as you saw at a brewery. It's a very intimate setting. The person in the third row can literally hear you. If you're going to heckle the heck out of the wrestler, they'll be able to notice what you're saying. So just having that atmosphere and having a fan like her is perfect. But if you have a fan like her and myself, then your show is going to be
I mean,
That's
that's the
time.
ultimate win. That's the ultimate win because I mean, the silence is the worst thing for wrestlers, right?
Yeah.
So having Maria there, and if both of you are there to pull it off, I mean, that's that. I like I said, scared of y'all if you guys were sitting around me. See, Eddie, you were foolish enough to open your mouth and not know where you were.
Yeah, that's
But
right.
I'll give you this. Thank you for doing it because it brought us two of quite possibly my favorite guys. This has been an absolutely fantastic conversation. You guys are great. You're fun, charming. It's all love, and to see and feel the love that you guys have for the industry. Axel, not only because you are a fan, but because you are in it, and Maria, not only because you are a mega fan, but because your brother's in it. You know, it's once again great to show everyone and give people a positive outlook on wrestling fans, and that this is an industry and a business that is real and needs to be taken seriously. And for everyone who thinks that this is just scripted and whatever work, while things may be predetermined, yes, but people take these bumps. This is real. There's storytelling. There's things in the background. So this was an absolute great moment to have someone in the industry, to have a mega fan, to kind of show everyone that this comes together beautifully has been absolutely fantastic. You guys are rock stars, like absolutely. Like Maria, I whenever I come down to visit Eddie, I'll DM you or whatever. I want to sit next to you during this
Saturday
show. During this show. Well, I can't get down to this side. Like I said, I got kids, but whatever. But whenever I get down there, I will let you know. But you guys have been.
I will give you one of my many Axel Rome signs. So don't.
Oh, perfect. Perfect. See, no, I'm good. That's wonderful.
Gotta say, my favorite one is "Tiene talento, mucho talento. Tiene talento, mucho talento."
That's it. See, I'm already moving. I can't stop. That's it. Look out.
And I think that's what wrestling's all about.
You're right.
It's movements, it's feelings, it's emotion.
It's engagement.
It's emotion.
But you too, Axel, though, because we also got to give you your flowers in the sense of, you know, what you do. Because I've seen you before the shows, a couple of hours before the shows, and I see that it's all hands on deck. You know what I mean? And I think that's the beautiful thing about, like, when you love the business, you want to take part in every shape of the business. So whether that's setup, whether that's, you know, media, whether that's, you know, prepping things to make sure everything goes according to plan for the next 2-3 hours of the show is. And then everybody forgets this fun part, right? The breakdown. You got to, you know, make sure everything is set and packed and ready to go to the next show. And I see that. And I think that's, you know, to Ariel's point about why we do what we do, is we try to piece the pieces together for our listeners that don't go to these shows or just think, oh, they show up to an arena and it's just magically there and magically disappears. No, every hand, every person, every piece of it matters. So from production to fandom. So to both of you, this was fantastic. This was fun. I can't wait to see you guys again at the next show. And yes, Axel, now you know, anytime you see my name on that list, because now I know how it works, you put me next to your sister in La Familia, and we'll all hang out. We'll make sure.
But Axel, what I want to say is, to Eddie's point, I think to put it in sum it up into one word, your professionalism.
Yes,
is what I think I want a lot of people to take away from this interview, is your professionalism and the fact that you do what you do because you love it, and as a result you give it everything you have. And I think that comes out when you do your job as an announcer, when you do your job doing your interviews, and it's something I just want people to take a moment and realize, and when they see you do it, to appreciate it and to respect the work that goes into it, because the fandom is there, but the hard work, the dedication, the professionalism is just something different. And so on that aspect, from a fan, gracias.
Yes, exactly.
To you.
Man, that means a lot.
Light on this, shedding light on all the people who are part of the world that is wrestling, and you guys connect all the little pieces, and you guys are a big piece of that. So thank you guys.
We just want to try and make what y'all do just more recognizable to the world, you know, because we get such a fun kick out of it. You guys obviously get such a fun kick out of it. So be able to try and bring it home to the people who don't, and to have these moments where they can get to know people such as yourselves is just, it's why we do what we do. And we once again want to thank you, because you could have been anywhere for the past hour, but you chose to be with us, and it means the world to us.
Not over.
And we would love to have you back whenever you want. Please, if you guys want to talk about an indie show, a professional show, whatever, just send us a message, let us know. We will put you on, please, please, please. And now I'm just going to give you both a minute. I'll start with the lovely Maria and then go to Axel. If you guys want to plug anything, your Instagram, your X, whatever, please take this moment to do so. Find out where the people can see you, because they should. You guys are fantastic. Like, this has been absolutely great. So please, everybody, take a listen to this particular moment in time, because I want you to follow, like, share, and do everything. So Maria, please.
I mean, if you want to follow me on Instagram, I'm at Mars Romero. It's just Axel Rome content as well.
Great.
Partial
Wonderful.
Axel
Love
Rome
it. Love
content.
it.
Partial Axel Rome
No.
content. And for
Yeah.
anyone
And
on
Axel?
me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, as I like to call it, I will never call it X, you guys. I will never
Yeah,
break out of that
I
habit, honestly.
I did. No.
Oh man.
I hated doing it. It felt like vinegar coming out of my mouth, but you know.
As I like to say every time I'm giving the shout out to people, follow us on X or Twitter, as I like to call it. So yeah, on any of those social media platforms at Axel Rome TV. But as well, I'd like to give a quick shout out to following for any fans to come and check out any of the CCW wrestling shows that happen across the state of Florida. If you need more information, we do shows from the start of the month at Miami, then Kissimmee, Tampa, Port St. Lucie, Pompano, now Okeechobee. Now we're doing some at Vero at the Dolphin Mall in Miami. We're doing shows in Vero Beach. And as well as branching out to more places like in Tennessee. So following Coastal Championship Wrestling, of course, CCW at CCW Live TV on any of our social media platforms. Also, get your ticket out to our show in Tampa. It's going to be a great time, great family-friendly show, as Eddie's seen it. Sometimes we get a little hardcore. It is a CCW show. As much as we'd like to keep it family-friendly, you know, we have guys like Ozzy
What can you
Killmeister, the
do?
most hardcore metalhead in pro wrestling, come out, and you just can't help but get a little metal at a heavy metal bar, Magnanimous Brewery. In beautiful Tampa, Florida. So definitely come out, get your tickets at ccwrestlingfl.com. And of course, a shout out as well to Pro Wrestling Action. I do also shows with them, so I wanted to give them as well as a shout out. You can get your tickets there at pwatickets.eventbrite.com. Also worth checking out for you, my friend Eddie. If you have any time, definitely a promotion that I always like to encourage people coming out and checking out, because just the different style of wrestling that you can see from one indie promotion to another one in your own backyard, to me, has always been very fascinating since I discovered the indies in about now close to 2.5 years. So yeah, ever since then, I've wanted to do as much as immerse myself, and these two companies have given me such a great platform. So I definitely wanted to give them a shout out, and as well WWN. Whenever I don't know exactly when the next time I'll be with them, but I do a lot of their Shine Wrestling. So any women's wrestling fan that is in the local Clearwater, Tampa, St. Petersburg area, I highly encourage you to come and check out the show. Eddie, you're at one of them, and I think you would agree that the women there don't disappoint. You see women that have been at Shine from the very beginning, like the OG badass Mercedes Martinez, right? You now have Eva Lees, you have Kelsey Reagan, the current Shine champion. And I think it's just a great platform for the women there to, no pun intended, shine in a place that really puts them on a platform in a spotlight that it's really all to them. But those three companies, of course, I encourage anyone else to go and check out if you have the free time. There's more schedules that you can follow on any of their social media. So definitely check them out. That's Coastal Championship Wrestling, Pro Wrestling Action, and WWN.
Look at that. What a pro, man.
See, that's official, man. That's official right there. I love it. Dig it.
I always tell everyone, I try to sound professional.
Man,
Yeah,
listen, you working, man. You
do it.
always
You do a good
working.
job. You do a
Always
good
working,
job.
baby. That's the thing. Is you if you're not selling, you ain't working. So no, do you. That's killed it,
Yes.
Axel. Killed it. Killed it.
Exactamente. Bueno, familia. Now, again, want to thank you for the time. This was fantastic. I agree
Amazing.
with Ariel. I think y'all need to come back when the next AAA event comes on. We should have you guys on. Review it.
I mean,
we'll
if y'all want to do that,
I'll
let's
do that, totally.
let's put that
That'd be
in.
fun.
I mean, fantastic. Well, then, I mean, Maria, I have already followed you because Eddie told me to. Axel, following you as soon as we click end on this piece. I'm AV Sweata, so look for me. But yeah, please come back. Like we would love to do, especially go over a nice triple show with you guys. That would be amazing.
Totally.
Yeah, that'd be good. That'd be fun.
So well, once again we want to take a moment to thank you guys, and then once again, just humbly thank you for your time, your patience, everything. You know, we're two guys who just started doing this, you know, not more than 8 months ago, and to have, like I said, people on such as yourself to give us your time and your expertise and your insight into this, just kind of it gives us energy to move forward and to keep doing it. So thank you very much for what you guys do. And as we always say, thank you for the representation, because that's truly what this is about. I mean, Primos for Life, you know, we don't want to sit there and just say, you know, we're just for Latinos, because, you know, we want the full vibe, you know, of course, everybody. But what we do want to do is highlight the Latinos in wrestling, because that is our culture, that is our people. And, you know, we don't want to be left behind or be an afterthought or not be taken seriously, because that's not how this life works. So to the both of you, thank you very much for being out there, for being prominent, and for doing what you do to make us as a people, as a culture, look good and shine in these aspects. So wholeheartedly and humbly, once again, we thank you for your time and everything you've done. And I'm going to stop rambling.
No, you said it perfectly, brother. You said it perfectly.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having us. It was truly a pleasure, and to finally get, I guess, to share this little story of ours, because for the most part, I've just been really the wrestling fan, and never really had anyone that I could talk to about it. And finally, when I started bringing my sister out to these shows, and having her, maybe her passion also reignited, it's been very thrilling. And for you to experience it, a CCW show, but a CCW show with my sister, I think it's an experience in and of its own.
Oh yeah,
familia, baby, familia. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. That's it.
Thank you guys.
Familia, muchas gracias. I will see you guys at the next show, and we'll be in touch. You guys have a.
I'm not a crazy person if I DM you guys hello and stuff. I'm a normal person. I swear.
I promise.
Nice guy, not crazy. Muchísimas gracias, guys. Thank you so much for everything. We truly appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Of course, provecho.
Gracias. Pasa buena noche. Muchísimas gracias,
y'all.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Oh man, weren't they fun?
That was a fun time. That was a fun time. She Maria's great. Axel is, I mean, polished. I mean, you talk about professional and polished, and even at the end when he was dropping everything, like just the way he was speaking, like full thing, like he polished. Like you can tell the professionalism, which is why I wanted to say that. After you said what you said, I wanted to hit that word professionalism, because that's encapsulates everything. He is professional. He's polished. She is absolutely fantastic. She's a ham. She's a heel. She's great. She's everything you want someone in that in that railing to be. You know, someone in that seat, you want them to have all the emotions, to be able to experience everything. And I think she does. And with the love for her brother, it makes it go that much further, man. That was a good time, and they're fun people, man. That's next time you go to a show, please give them an extra hug for me, because they're great. That was really cool.
Yeah, man. They're awesome. And then the parentals too. They go to the show too. They're awesome. They're funny. They're just there vibing and having a good time, you know, getting into it as well. And you're right. And I think that's why I was so intrigued to do this. We call it a story, but this conversation, and wanted to bring them on, because it was different. It was different. Yeah. And I told you, like, the moment after the show was over, I was like, something's there. Like, we need to bring this on here and just, you know, show the world that, hey, you know, it's important to, you know, open yourself up to new experiences by going to independent shows or local shows.
Well, because look what happens.
Right.
Look what happens. You went into the show and you met these two amazing people who, you know, I mean, we're podcasting, so it's different. But even just to go to a show and meet cool people and stuff like that, like just, and once again, to see how down to earth they are and to get the stories, you know, to feel that realism, that's going to make you feel good and make you want to go back. So that's dope, man.
Exactly. And this is part of that wrestling community that we want people to see. Don't be afraid to go to an indie show. Go get a group of friends.
It'll be a $20 ticket. A solid $20 spent.
Yeah.
It'll be a solid 20 hours in 2 hours. You bring yourself a drink, smoke a joint, do whatever you want to do, but walk in there, smile, laugh, suspend reality for the 2 hours you're there. You're not going to be mad.
Yeah.
You're not going to be mad.
Exactamente.
You spend $20 on worse stuff.
Exactly.
Let's be honest. We all have. So
you know what I'm saying?
Give me that.
Those late night hungers, or you know,
please,
like Uber Eats, McDonald's, $20 is rough, bro. It's
20,
rough.
Please. 20. I can do. Please, 20. Oh, God,
20
that's not even, that was $20 is light on that bill. That 3 o'clock in the morning bill, $20. Oh, that's just, she was like, no. No, but no, they were great, man. They're fantastic. If you guys have a chance, please go out and if you're in the Florida area, of course, go down and check out CCW, please. They're great. They're fantastic. Follow, like, all the numbers that we say about ourselves goes for them as well, please. So in that aspect, I will also, do that for ourselves. Please follow, like, share primosforlife.com, Instagram, TikTok, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, YouTube. We're all over the place. Please follow, like, because once again, things like this and getting reactions is why we love to do what we do, and it keeps us moving to want to do these interviews and keep doing the recap episodes. This is just something now we've fallen in love with even more than we thought we would, and we want to continue to do it, and we can't do it without you. So please be so kind as to continue to follow, share, like, and just back us, and be the familia and the primos that we know you are. So thank you, everybody. De verdad. Thank you.
Perfectly said, man. You know what, brother? I mean,
am I good tonight? Am I good,
bro? Home run.
Nice.
And that note, primo, como siempre. You know
you
what
know
to
what?
do, man.
No. Como siempre, I'm gonna let you. No, I'm gonna let you do it. I'm gonna let you do it. How about you, primo? Como siempre. Take us out.
Bueno, we will see you when we see you. Take care, everybody.
See you when we see you. Take care. Good night.